matter whether we understand it in a profound way or not. At least we should try now to understand karma. And many people ask me these questions. Why, if there is a karma, the law, then we see so many injustice. Like many people, they do the most worst and then evil thing, but they are seemingly, the most successful in society. And many people who do very good in their life, but they seem to have the most, obstacles. Isn't it? People ask me, the answer for this thing is, we have to be realistic. Okay? Then how to be realistic? When you put seed to grow that, the result, the fruit, completely ripen, takes time, isn't it? Takes time, yeah? Those people who are doing very, very good things, it's not machine, You put now and then immediately create it. Karma sometimes takes time. You do good things, but still it will take time to get the result. You put the seed, it takes some time to grow, to ripen, isn't it? Same. Those people who are doing good, but they are facing a lot of obstacles, because let's say a farmer, he puts everything, the grains of rice, that everything he had, he just sow and then farm it. So until it is completely ripened and harvest, he can gain back. He has a problem now, there is a crisis at home. No food, no rice. So we then talk about, how come you are the one who does farming, the most, and you don't have rice? How come? It's not that, isn't it? He has put everything as a seed, and it will take time, but it will come to him, and it will come in a much more quantity. Yeah? So it takes time. So it's like, for some time he has a problem with the food crisis, supplies. Same thing. Those people who do good in their life, seemingly they have a lot of problems, but actually they have firm, very good, established future, very bright future. The result will come. And those people who do the most evil thing, but they are successful, then they are like, people who consume poison. Some poison are like slow harming, isn't it? Takes time. So something like that. Let the time come, The karma will not really let him go. He cannot escape karma anyway. The things that he has been doing in his life, those evil things, will not let him go anywhere. He has to bear the result. And result is not 1 for 1, but hundreds for 1, thousands for 2 maybe, billions and countless for maybe 10, Because you put one seed, the fruit grows, multi, isn't it? And then those, unnecessary things, we need no need to put what you call the seeds also. They will grow itself. Even you clean, they come. You see, is that clear? So, it's okay. Don't get kind of tired, to see those people do the evil thing but successful. They will not go anywhere. This is one thing. Another thing, if we know karma, then we ourselves, society, family, all will be very, very safe. Example, old men, let's say, very old people, weak people, carrying a lot of cash, and then walking through, let's say, one very kind of, remote way, jungle way. Okay? He's walking alone. He meets two people. One who understands karma, the other no. Okay? So, the one he meets, who has no understanding about karma, when this person sees the cash with that man in that jungle, very quiet, the first thought comes in his mind is then, he must have something. Oh, there's a cash. I have to loot him. If possible, he will just take it away. If not, then he will snatch, beat, and at worst, he will kill and take it away. Isn't it? But the second person who has understanding of karma, when he sees, the first thought comes in his mind, then is, oh, this is danger. Quiet place, he's weak, alone, with lot of money. Anything can happen. If possible, he will ask, where are you going? This is danger. Let me help you. Where you want to go? He will assist him to reach his destination, if possible. If not, at least he will suggest him, don't do this. Be careful. Even not, at least he will not harm at any, way. Isn't it? Is that clear? So karma, we really need. Okay? So that's why understanding of karma in our daily life, applying that, really being serious about that in our daily life. Try our best. Try. Really, really try. This is another thing that we prepare ourselves to be swallow. Okay? Because of good karma in the life, we like we say, okay, why should I fear to scared of people or others or this or that or law? Because I've done nothing wrong. We usually say that, isn't it? Same. It's same. Why should I fear, or scared of death? Because I've done nothing wrong in my life. You see? You can build a very confident heart if you follow karma. It's very important. Karma is one thing. Then we should also understand the world, the samsara. The samsara is not what we think. You see? That's why Buddha gives this example. We have this mind, ordinary mind, controlled by ignorance, negative emotions, and karma. Yeah? So therefore, even we don't have glasses, many of the friends are using glasses. Like me, I'm not using my glasses. But it doesn't mean I have no glasses here, I have a glass. I'm using one kind of, what do you call that? Spect. And that's a colorful one. That has a different color. Black, white, red, yellow, okay, and so on. Why is that so? Ignorant. You see? Anger, red maybe. Then, what do you call that? Desire, maybe white. Jealous, I think yellowish. Isn't it? Pride. We always looking with these spect. We are listening with these earphone. We are smelling with these things. Okay? What do you call that? Whatever. And we are feeling everything with these things. You see? So, Buddha said, that's why what you see is what is not reality. The reality is something different from what you see, what you experience, and what you perceive. But we falsely regard it as something, that can give us happiness. For example, then the eye. Our mind goes with the eye, get attracted by a beautiful thing, end up in suffering. He uses the butterfly and the lamp. The example. When there is a lamp inside the house, butterfly sees it from outside. The butterfly then get completely attracted by that light, and he want to get in, but he has to struggle because there's glasses and many things protecting. So to get through is a big struggle for him. Halfway, lizard eat, get killed, injured, knocking the glasses and all, isn't it? Finally he reached inside, half dead, but he thinks, wow, finally here, thanks God. If I jump into that thing, then I will get cure and heal and feel the heaven. He jumps, but get even worse, burn. He couldn't believe, how come this beautiful thing, will burn me, give me pain, impossible. This must be, I'm confused or wrong. Let's jump again. Dead. This is what happens. Advertisements is the light. Our eye and we are the butterfly. Fashions, brand, packagings, this and that. Sound. Buddha also uses music, to drag the attention of those animals. In ancient time, hunters, they use flutes and musics to confuse, because animals are easy to be confused, or get attracted by the sounds and music, they say. So they use music, and another person goes from another direction and shoot. And the animal does not, even they are alert, but they does not realize it, because they are attracted, and lost. So shooters kill them. See, because of their attachment with the ear for the sound, end up in suffering. Is it? Nose, like many bugs, bees, they are crazy about the aroma. Then they go into flower. Some flower they close. And most of the flower you see inside, there is a tiny bugs, killed. Because they are too attracted for the smell inside, they never realize the flower being closed, and then they die. Because of this attachment, you see, dead. Fish, for the test. Because of test, few years back in one of the the 5-star hotel, there was a wedding ceremony. Invited a lot of guests, and one of the guests then died while eating the food. I don't know how he ate. They have varieties of food and chicken. He ate chicken, but I don't know how he swallowed that, So the bone, sharp bone, then stuck here, then he died. So Buddha gives the example of the fish and hook. When you throw the hook with the baits in water, the fish then grabs it. Because fish thinks it's a food. And food, why he thinks is because there is a desire for test. He goes direct jump. And then he kills. Many elephants and then buffaloes, they like, to sing in water, mud. So because of their physical sort of sensation, they feel too cooling, very nice feeling, I think. So they sing down, sing down, sing down, sing down, until they cannot move anymore. Then at the end of the day, they cannot move themselves, help themselves to get out of it. Die. Why? Because of their sensation, the desire for sensation. You see? So samsara is something like that. You see? In this world, whatever we think is actually not the reality. The reality is then something different from what we expect. So this is the nature of samsara. That's why we have to understand this now. This is another way to train ourselves to be like the swallow. These are instructions, okay? Maybe you feel this is maybe not so Bardo teachings. Okay, please. These are very important. We have to do it now, here, in our daily life. Okay? So, control. It's okay. And then among these things, one of the most important thing in our life, then to realize the nature of mind. Okay? This is the biggest subject in our life. To realize the nature of mind. You ask your teacher, you ask your parents, you ask anybody else, what is the nature of mind? And see what answer you get. They will say, the mind is then tricky. And some might say, because they are depressed, the mind is very painful. And some people might say, the mind is formless. The mind has no shape, no size. But almost impossible to get the right answer from any of those people. When scientists, they do research a lot of things, but mind is something that they cannot see through their microscope. What do you call that? Microscope, yeah? Telescope. So, when it comes to the mind, then they have no answer. That's why I don't know is the good answer. One of the scientists I met, he told me, I don't know is a good answer in science. See, so the nature of mind, please, you keep this in your mind and make sure, kind of commitment. I will not go without understanding this in my life. Make sure. As a parents, you make sure your children understand that. Slowly. As a friend, make sure other friends also get that. Really. So what is the nature of mind? Okay? Anger, ignorance, pride, jealousy, all these are not the nature of our mind. Even though it sounds to be, it looks like. These are temporary. Temporary, like a cloud. There is a cloud this morning, there will be no more in the afternoon. There was a cloud yesterday, no more today. There is no cloud today, but tomorrow there will be cloud. So these negative emotions are actually not our nature of mind. Okay? Be clear about that. Be sure about that. Then what is the nature of mind then? I told you yesterday, the nature of mind then is wisdom and compassion. Okay? When we put it into 2 words, very simple. It's like Om Mani Padme Hum. It's only 6 words. The mantra is like Om Mani 6, Om Mani Padme Hum, 6 words. And when the master tells its benefit, then you will get enlightenment. It's like 6 words can give you enlightenment. Sounds like impossible, isn't it? But actually, there is a possibility. Two meanings. Number 1 is the pure body, speech and mind of Buddha. Enlightened body, speech and mind of the Buddha. That's the first. Second meaning is then impure body, speech and mind of us. Body, speech and mind. Impure of us and pure body, speech and Buddha. 2 meanings, yeah? Excuse me. The question is now, this impure body, speech, mind of us, is it possible to be transformed as Buddhas? Pure body, speech and mind? Then the answer is yes. But how? There is 2 things. Then comes money. Om Mani Padme Hum. Money is a symbol. Money means wish fulfilling. Wish fulfilling jewel or something like that. Something that fulfills our wishes. And that is compassion. With compassion you can help yourself, you can help others. With anger, you cannot help others. You cannot help yourself. So, the real jewel, the wish-fulfilling jewel in this world then is compassion. Mani in Sanskrit word means wish-fulfilling jewel. That's a symbolic word. The meaning is then to refer to what is compassion, you see. Compassion is the greatest jewel, you see. The beautiful relationship between parents and children is because of this parents' compassion. The enlightenment developing in the student is because of the compassion of Guru, and so on. So, wish-fulfilling jewel actually is the compassion. You see, Mani. Padme, then goes Padma. Padma means lotus. Lotus grow from mud, but when actually it blooms, what do you call that? Blooms, yeah? Or blossom? Okay, I don't know exactly, yeah? You look at the lotus inside, it's very clear. It's very clean, very pure. No mud inside. It's very clear. Even it grows out of mud, but there is no touch, untouched by the mud. See? That represents, again, symbol. Represents what? That symbolizes what? Wisdom. You see? Wisdom we can develop within ourselves. Out of these emotions and karma, we can develop wisdom. Yet, wisdom is untouched by negativities, such as negative emotion and negative karma. Is that clear? When you practice these two, compassion and wisdom, impure body, speech, or mind of us now can be transformed into the pure body, speech, or mind of Buddhas. That's the meaning of Om Mani Padme Hum. Again, it emphasizes on the wisdom and compassion, isn't it? That's the essence of the entire 84,000 teachings of Buddha. 84,000 teachings of Buddha, the essence, the heart of those teachings, that is wisdom and compassion. You see? So, whatever, I don't want to go much detail. Wisdom and compassion is the nature of our mind. Okay? It's like muddy water. Muddy water. The mud, when mixed with the water looks dirty. But in fact, water is not dirty. It's just the temporary mud. You leave it as it is. Slowly the mud will go down. The water will get clear. In fact, the water streams coming and falling, all the water, channeling through the Himalayan region, they are not coming in from our tanki, water tanks. They are coming from underground mud, so many things, isn't it? But they are the most pure. Nature of mind is something like that. It's pure. It's by its nature. Always pure. But temporary things then defiles it. Influences it. Is that clear? So therefore, the nature of mind is then what? Can you say? Can you please say? Wisdom and compassion. Is it just to say, or is it really the nature of mind? Please, confidently. Don't suspect. Have confidence. This is what Buddha discovered. That is why he is enlightened. Enlightenment is nothing else than this. But don't take it as something very simple, wisdom and compassion. You just smile, that's compassion. And you give something, and advice, that's wisdom. Not simple as that, Okay? Wisdom and compassion. So, let me give you, Buddha said, okay, in the third wheel of the Dharma, the third teachings, then Buddha said, every sentient being has Buddha nature. Buddha nature means wisdom and compassion again. Make sure, And slowly when you learn, what you drink is wisdom and compassion. What you eat is in wisdom and compassion. What you breathe is wisdom and compassion. What you see is wisdom and compassion. What you hear, smell, everything, then you can transform. There is a technique. How wonderful. Okay? So, don't, feel hopeless. There is a complete hope. Wisdom and compassion. Everything then ultimately is wisdom and compassion. Buddha said in the third teaching, every sentient being has a Buddha nature. Therefore, everybody can become Buddha. Not only talking about human, even the brooms, the birds, okay, and insect, and those who spirit, all of them will eventually attain enlightenment. You see? Because everybody has the same potential. That's why in Buddhism, in the teachings of Buddha, respect all beings as your mother or your daughter or your children. Is it only talking out of emotion? No. It is actually talking out of this understanding. You see? Because now we have developed our sense of so-called humanity, isn't it? Just be a good human being. We all advise that. And then human rights organizations' main principle is then all about this. In some extent, they have developed it, in certain level. We talk, all humans are same. Therefore, sense of humanity is very important. Humanism, everybody talks about it. But when you say humanity, then our humanity is only limited to the humans only. We cannot cross that limit. But the teachings of Buddha then covers all. All sentient beings, they can all become Buddha because they all possess the same potential called Buddha nature. Okay? Wisdom and compassion natures in there, all of them. But it is covered. Buddha gives 3 examples. First example, one time in India, Bihar state, close to Bodh Gaya, there is a place called Vulture Peak Mountain. And that's the place where Buddha gave the Prajnaparamita Sutra teachings. Okay? And he showed his disciples, group of monks, a lake full of lotus. But all inside the lotus, is then Buddha image, kind of statue, let's say. There is a Buddha image in each lotus in the lake. But unless you open the flower, you are unable to see the Buddha image inside. Then Buddha say, this is how we are in this state now. We have the Buddha nature inside, wisdom and compassion nature of mind inside within us, but it is covered by our very beautiful looking ignorant lotus. Okay? And we like the shells, the packagings. Therefore we are stuck only to the lotus, the not real essence of the lotus, that is Buddha inside, you see. Then Buddha gives another example. That's how our ignorance covers, Our ignorance is very deceiving. It will make what is wrong seemingly right, what is right seemingly wrong, So deceiving. Okay? Second example Buddha gives. Honey bee, there is a nest. Honey bee nest, full of honey. And each hole guarded by honeybees. Inside the honey nest, the bee nest is then what? Honey, full of honey. So sweet, everybody loves it. Yeah? But fearing the honey bee, because they are very aggressive, they will sting us, attack us. Fearing that, when you look at the honey bee, it's not nice at all. It's very dangerous looking, But in fact, inside there is a very sweet honey, isn't it? Wisdom and compassion in our state is always there like the sweet honey, always there. But our anger, like honey bees, aggressive bees, our anger then covers it. Then we are unable to experience that state of mind, wisdom and compassion. In another word, Buddhahood, the Buddha nature. Is that clear? Then another example, attachment. I don't remember. Better don't waste time. So I will slowly later it will come in my mind. Okay, so I will share. Then Buddha also gives this Buddha nature, the wisdom and compassion nature of our mind is always there, but don't take it as something truly existing. Don't think something like that. That the wisdom of the nature of mind is wisdom and compassion. Just understand that. And slowly the more you will understand what is wisdom, then you will understand that more. The more you will understand what is compassion, then you will know what is that state of mind, so-called the nature of mind. Okay? Then Buddha gives another example. You know the mustard seed? Each mustard seed, when you press and squeeze it, what it gives? Oil. Yeah? Yeah? Is that clear? Okay? Yeah? Every grain of the mustard seed, when you squeeze it, there is a oil, isn't it? Sesame. Mustard seed doesn't have oil? Okay, I'm wrong then. Sorry to confuse you. So sesame, I think, yeah? Okay, sesame, let's say, yeah? When you squeeze each grain, it gives oil, isn't it? That means each seed has oil in its nature. Similarly, you and me, whoever in this world, human or non-human, all have the same nature. Like this sesame seed has oil. The nature of Buddha is then in everybody. When we practice, like when we squeeze, oil comes. When we practice, then it gets clearer. Okay? Another example that Buddha gives, like sun. The sun is very clear, always lightful, but when it is covered by the cloud, we cannot see, isn't it? Our nature of mind, the wisdom and compassion of mind is like the sun. It's always there in our nature, but because of our anger and so on, negative emotion, karma, like a cloud covered. You see? But when the practice, through our practice, then we cross using jet, helicopter, aeroplane, cross the limit, or you do your training and practice, the wind blows, then the practice wind blows all the clouds away, the nature of mind then is clearly seen. You see? So at the moment we are under control, covered by the lives and lives and lifetimes, karma, emotion, tendencies, and all these, negative things. What we call as obscurations. Okay? Obscuration. That obscure, that becomes a barrier. You see? So we are under control of those. So discovery, the teaching is then about discovery of our own nature. You see? This is very effective. There are therapies like what you call the hypnotizing therapies to cure somebody's, sickness that cannot be cured by doctor, medicine, all kinds of treatments, So they let them sleep, so using that technique, and then they will take, back in the past. Okay, now where are you? Okay, I'm in such place, and that's about talking about, maybe 10 years back, 100 years back, one lifetime before, two lifetime before. Then they will take, all the way back to what happened actually, the main incident, When through this hypnotizing, what you call that, therapy, the person is introduced to the source, the incident, what happened in the beginning that has caused this kind of, an uncurable sickness. By introducing that, when he is brought back, then he gets cures, healed. There are many examples like that. Actually, the practice didn't do anything, They just let the person see what happened, the incident. It's like when even something really gone wrong, but we want to see the truth, isn't it? What happened? When we see the fact, even we cannot do anything, but we feel relief. See? This is the example. When we, through our training and practice, know our nature of mind, the problem of world then for us is solved. You see. So, this is what we have to understand. Therefore, the nature of our mind then have to be understood through the practice of discipline, the shield, the precepts. That's more to the physical training. Then through the practice of meditation, that is more to the mind training. Then through the special kind of meditation practice, and that is more to the wisdom training, wisdom level of training, you see. So that's why today we have yanas like Mahayana, Vajrayana or Foundation Yana. Whatever that is taught in the Foundation Yana level, that is more to the physical trainings. How you eat, how you walk. So many disciplines. But since there is a connection, physically, mentally, wisdom, they are all interlinked. When you train in discipline yourself, physically, the mind also gets trained. When you go to Mahayana, then physical training is there, but the trainings are then more to the mind training. Because the boss is the mind. When you train your mind, your physical then attitudes are trained automatic. When you go to the Vajrayana, then it will teach us to train our wisdom. Because the big, really ultimate boss is then our wisdom. Wisdom can control mind, then mind can control our physical attitude. You see? So can you make any kind of, differentiation to say this is right and that's wrong, this is better and this is worse? Cannot, you see. So we have to study now to understand this, and there are complete methods given, okay, to introduce our nature of mind. But roughly you have the idea today. But what is the nature of mind? Then you know now, wisdom and compassion. So, since wisdom and compassion is the nature of our mind, the more you train yourself, the more clearer it gets. Anger and emotions and all those negative things are, since these are not our nature of mind, the more you try to find their nature, they disappear. You see? Whatever that is not reality, it will disappear when you really look into it. Whatever that is reality, then it gets clearer to you when you look into it. Okay? So the nature of mind in this life. And the most powerful introduction of the mind and practice methods are given in Vajrayana. And then also in Mahayana. And also in Foundation Yana. Okay? So from what way you want to start. But you have to start. Roughly, I have given you the idea. From today, don't regard any people, any beings, that is nothing. From today, there is a kind of respect in your heart, because we all have the Buddha nature. Okay? This you should keep in your mind. The Buddha nature that everybody has. You see? And then, this is the biggest subject in our life. You do meditation, whatever practice you do, the main thing then we have to understand this nature of mind. Okay? So once we are trained in this nature of mind, at the moment when we pass away, we die, that moment it becomes much more clearer. You see, remember yesterday, while the dissolutions, the third experience, remember? The light, the first as a mirage, second as a smoke, third as a what? Firefly, and then the fourth as a torchlight or the lamp. You know, the light, the lamp light. Okay? So these are actually, let me tell you now, the nature of mind then is shining to ourselves. To ourselves. That light is then coming from nowhere, but actually the wisdom and compassion function is now acting, reactions. Then you experience it in a light forms, tiny light forms, and which gets bigger every steps. Yeah? So by the time when we pass away, when we die and go through all this dissolution, if we have no idea what is that thing, then that again becomes a monster out of our own misunderstanding. And we fear, and it becomes a problem for us. But if we know, wow, that's it, it really is there. You know, it's like a mother and the son or children meeting after some time. They've been missing for some time, and meeting. Wow, I know, this is my mother. Oh, this is my children, And then they hug. The moment when we experience, we go through the third experience. We have no problem now. Oh, this is the nature of mind. Remain in that. Realize that to be the nature of mind. You see, realizing that is the secret of enlightenment. You understand? You see, therefore, at the moment of death, every dissolution stage, when our elements, disappears, the light then gets bigger and bigger. At the moment, why not it is coming to us? Is because covered by the karmic body, and covered by our grosser emotions, and covered by all the karma, and some more, this mind is then completely outwarded, what do you call that? Distracted outside, never inside. So when you sit down, try to focus, still it runs. Cannot really help in the beginning. It's like, feel hopeless, isn't it? Because the habit is so bad, He likes to travel like me, here and there, So the mind has no habit. But the time when we die, the mind has no choice. It has to go in, focus in, because the doors are locked. Even you want to come out, the doors are locked. Sorry. When we are asleep, for some time, because too tired. That's why we don't get kind of, clear dream. But after some time, then physically we are relaxed. Then the mind is also, okay, body, now you are relaxed. Okay, now I want to go get outside. The mind tells the body, but the body is still, not responding. I'm snoring, the body. Sense doors are all closed. Eye, ear, all these sense doors are closed, locked. Ding dong, still not working, he's not waking up. Then he just wait at the door, singing song and then playing himself, imaginations. And that's how we get the dreams. He's trying to come out, there's door locked. Inside he is awake already, but nothing to do, so think like we do. When we are alone, we think the most. Isn't it? That's how we get the dreams. And because there is no way to go to the future, that you haven't have any idea, and most of the things that you see in our dream is then about past. See that friend, see that village, see that experience. You see. So the time when we pass away, when we die, the mind has no choice. It has to focus in. It has to look inside. Doors are locked. At that time, it's not relaxedly sleep. It's intention. A kind of, maybe for those practitioners, there is a kind of excitement. Eager. So, it's focused inside, inwardly. At that time, the physical body, tied, by all those elements, are then loosened. The covering, let's say this one, tightly covered at the moment with our body and everything. The nature of mind is then tightly covered. But the time when we pass away, when we die, that is loosened. Because all the element dies, loosened. Then open one, physical body dead, another element dead. The layers are all, clear away. The mind then sees. Because the mind is inwardly focused. The nature of mind is like, opening itself naturally. So both coming closer to each other. See? That's why we see the light. The nature of mind at that time. But whether we will understand that or not depends totally whether we have really trained to be swallowed or not when we are alive. See? Secret lies there. So, for those practitioners with these instructions and practice, dying is really amazing opportunity. And that Vajrayana teachings emphasize and openly welcomes all to practice, to see, to experience. See? We cannot believe it. Dying, and dying, how can it be a chance for enlightenment? But this is what we think. Reality is not that. So, when we pass away, this is what happens. Okay? And at that time, we can control. No matter whatever, like falling down, sinking down, carried away, burning, all these experiences, we will understand, oh, I know, this is what happens. My dissolutions are now happening. The elements are dying. Actually, nothing is happening to me, and I can maintain myself stable and maintain in my practice. Yes, that's the nature of mind. You can help ourselves very easily. We actually don't need any supports, friends, family. You see? This is how we have to help ourselves. But to do that, come on, we need to practice now. Okay? So, in daily life, when we sleep, slowly all gets dark. And then slowly eyes close. The things are not visible, So at that time, don't feel scared. Just make use of that experience. Okay? Now I am sleeping. And my elements are now, these are actually one kind of surface level of dissolution. When we close our eye, we lose all the forms here. We cannot hear the sound around, all this. It's a kind of element dissolution. So at that time we can practice. Okay, my dissolutions are happening, elements are dying in this way, every day when you sleep. If you try this, this becomes habit. But don't think it will really become our death, No. Please, don't be scared. Okay? We will actually die. No. But making a habit which will help us when actual death comes. Then to really do it, really. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama and great other masters, they do this repeatedly every day. Each dissolution they experience in their meditation technique, they do this practice. By the time when they pass away, it's not at all a problem. What a wonderful,